Hello, I'm Bob Kinsey. I'm the Green Party candidate for United States Senate in Colorado. And this is Go Green. Tonight we're going to talk about a particular issue which we're going to label food justice. 3 of the 10 Green Party values that will focus our consideration are social justice, ecological wisdom, and community-based economics. All 3 of those are important values which we Greens try to raise into the awareness of all of the citizens of Colorado and the United States and the world, because we believe that unless those are attended to, there can be no decent, sustainable human life on the planet. I got a calendar today in the mail from the Union of Concerned Scientists. And it shows a picture here of a barn in a field of green. And under it in the caption, it says, "The American industrial agricultural system involves massive use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers that are not sustainable since they contaminate soil, deplete groundwater, pollute rivers, and cause other problems." What we want is sustainable agricultural practices that provide high quality, safe, and affordable food without harming the environment or human health. I have with me 2 Colorado natives. One, Terrance Campbell, was raised in Denver and became aware of what's going on as he has been growing up in Denver. A tremendously precocious and articulate young man from 5 Points in Denver. The other is Adam Taylor, who grew up in Pueblo, Colorado, and has been active in the Green Party for a long time. We'll start with Terrance, because he's going to talk about thinking locally. We have a statement in the Green Movement that you should think globally and act locally. Well, that's what Terrance has been doing. So Terrance, tell us your story. How did you get into this?
I'm very young. I'm 16 years old. I'm an MC. A lot of you know me by Soul Rebel. I'm also an OG, what I like to call an OG organic gardener. You know, I've always had a good heart for activism and community. I've right now been working on several different organic gardens, completely organic, no chemicals or any of the such.
Right here in the city?
Right here in the city. One in Park Hill, Denver. Another in Swansea, Denver. And there's various others. These 2, however, happen to be right for the communities to just go and harvest and pick whatever veggies or fruit they want right off of the branch. And I started those up with my mentor, who's been teaching me organic gardening. His name is ETEF, goes by DJ Kava Motivation. Shout out. Really, what inspired me to start doing this work was I grew up all the way until about 14, 15 years old, just sort of consuming whatever was in front of me, whatever tasted good, whatever was there, never ever questioning what was on the label on the back. I thought that, you know, if it tastes good, it tastes good, like a lot of us do out here. And you know, something we need to realize is if we're just consuming something that is just made by somebody we don't know, made in a place we don't know where it came from, how can we trust it, you know? So couple of people started talking to me about, you know, consciously consuming. So I start getting into it. I start getting into what's the difference between organic and non-organic. Like Bob said, I was raised in 5 Points, which is known as a food desert. They call it a food desert because within the miles of the whole neighborhood, you can't really find any good produce, good supermarkets with good produce, good, healthy, organic food. What you can find, however, is fast food restaurants, which unfortunately are the cause of a lot of obesity, diabetes, cancer. You can also find liquor stores, and we already know the problems that those cause. And you can also find, you know, a couple convenience stations, 7-Elevens here and there, which, you know, these different corporations, why they're in the communities that they're in. I don't think I need to speak on that. It's because, you know, these communities are poor. They don't really have a reputation of caring for what they're consuming. So that's about it. And
you're producing this food and are going to sell it like at a farmer's market? Or
Yeah.
are you going to just let people have it for free or what?
Yeah, you know, right now I've been with my own plot that I helped start up and been working on. We've been using a lot of the food for ourselves, our families, giving it out to restaurants that we go to, giving it out to people who want it. I look towards the future to actually owning my own farm. And
urban
farm in Denver, preferably somewhere in Colorado, and making a living that way. And I see that in the near future that I can actually be selling some of what I grow. You know, it's very satisfying to me just to know that I'm doing good for the community, that I'm eating healthy, and that I'm creating something from seed to fruit. However, I think it would be even more satisfying to do that on a larger scale and make a living off of it.
So you find it personally rewarding to do this, as well as something that works for justice and good food for people. It's an exciting thing for you to be doing.
Yeah, and I definitely lean more to the side of justice because, you know, it's sad to me when I'm aware of the chemicals and, you know, different acids and all kinds of stuff they're putting in the food. The typical teenager my age in my community would never think about what's in the Burger King on 33rd and Downing Street, or never think about the McDonald's everywhere, or Taco Bell, all of that, man. And it's sad because they're completely unaware, like MSG, for example, a chemical that's oftenly found in almost every junky fast food. You know, that stuff is purposely put into the food to be addictive. You know, so what I found personally is that I grew up eating this stuff. Burger King was my favorite. And when I started to become aware, I actually quit eating any fast food, and I went back to eating it, I'd say about 5 months later, and didn't have a very strong taste for it. It didn't taste that great, and it actually upset my stomach a lot.
Really?
So that just shows, you know, that your body gets used to those chemicals, but it's not really good for you.
I